Ever feel stuck in a cycle of unhealthy relationships? Whether it's constant arguments, feeling controlled, or just emotionally drained, recognizing toxic patterns is the first step to changing them. In this video, we'll dive into how to spot these red flags and take charge of healthier, happier connections. Toxic relationship patterns are unfortunately common, and they can severely affect mental, emotional, and physical health. The effects can be subtle, creeping in over time, or stark and immediate. From manipulation to constant criticism or lack of respect, these dynamics not only harm well-being but can make breaking free feel impossible. With many facing these struggles today, whether in romantic relationships, family, or friendships, this issue is more relevant than ever. But it's not just about recognizing toxic behaviors. Changing those patterns is crucial to fostering healthier relationships that allow growth, mutual respect, and love. This video will take you through step-by-step strategies to identify toxic patterns and make real, lasting changes. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of what steps to take and how to avoid falling into the same destructive cycles. Don't miss the practical advice that can truly transform your relationships. Recognizing toxic patterns in relationships starts with identifying specific behaviors that undermine trust, respect, and emotional safety. Manipulation, emotional blackmail, and controlling behavior are common red flags. These toxic actions may be subtle, like guilt-tripping or gaslighting, making it challenging to detect them at first. The problem is that over time, they wear down self-esteem and create a false sense of normalcy, making it harder for the individual to recognize when they've crossed into unhealthy territory. A clear sign of a toxic relationship is the lack of open, honest communication. If one person continually dominates conversations, shuts down the other's needs, or disregards boundaries, it can signal a problem. Emotional abuse, too, often involves gaslighting, when someone denies or distorts reality, leaving the other person confused and unsure of their own experiences. The physical effects of toxic relationships can't be ignored. Chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression can result from prolonged exposure to toxic dynamics. These emotional and physical tolls can lead to further isolation, negatively impacting an individual's health and well-being. The key difference between healthy and unhealthy relationships often lies in how partners handle conflict. In a healthy relationship, disagreements are addressed respectfully and collaboratively. Unhealthy dynamics, on the other hand, rely on power struggles and manipulation to get what one person wants. Recognizing these signs is vital for regaining balance and setting the foundation for healthier connections in the future. One educational study by psychologist Dr. Harriet Lerner emphasizes how power imbalances can lead to toxic relationships. It shows that individuals in controlling relationships often experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. A helpful tip: if the relationship consistently leaves you feeling drained, disrespected, or confused, it's time to reevaluate whether it's worth continuing. Understanding where toxic patterns originate is crucial to breaking the cycle. Often, past trauma and unresolved emotional wounds play a significant role in shaping the way people behave in relationships. Experiences of neglect, abandonment, or abuse in childhood can deeply influence one's relationship choices and how one navigates intimacy in adulthood. Unhealed wounds lead individuals to unknowingly recreate toxic dynamics, sometimes choosing partners who repeat unhealthy patterns. Another contributing factor is communication styles and habits. If someone grew up in an environment where open dialogue was avoided or conflict was handled with hostility, they might struggle with healthy communication. This inability to express needs, listen actively, or respond calmly can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and a lack of emotional connection. Poor communication habits also often fuel defensiveness, criticism, and emotional withdrawal in relationships, creating a toxic feedback loop. External stressors such as work pressures, family conflict, or financial worries can also exacerbate toxic dynamics. When individuals feel overwhelmed by these outside pressures, they may turn inward and project frustration or anxiety onto their partners. These external challenges can strain even the healthiest relationships, but they tend to have a more significant impact in already toxic environments. For example, high stress levels can increase irritability and decrease patience, making it more likely that someone will resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms like shutting down or lashing out. Psychologist Dr. John Gottman's research into relationships supports this view. He emphasizes how unresolved issues, both personal and external, build up over time, leading to the erosion of emotional intimacy. A helpful life hack: recognizing the root causes of toxic patterns allows partners to begin the healing process together, rather than perpetuating blame or shame. Breaking free from toxic patterns requires a commitment to personal growth and relationship repair. The first step is self-reflection. It's essential to assess one's behavior and identify how past experiences or unresolved issues may contribute to unhealthy dynamics. Self-awareness lays the foundation for change, as it allows individuals to take responsibility for their actions while also understanding their needs and boundaries. Once self-awareness is achieved, improving communication becomes a top priority. Healthy communication involves actively listening to your partner, using I statements instead of blaming or accusing, and validating each other's feelings. It's about creating a safe space for both people to express their thoughts without fear of judgment or rejection. A life-changing technique here is using reflective listening, which involves repeating back what the other person has said to ensure understanding and minimize miscommunication. Setting boundaries is another critical strategy in changing toxic relationship patterns. Clear, respectful boundaries prevent one person from overstepping or making demands that infringe on the other's emotional or physical space. It's essential to communicate these boundaries clearly and consistently, ensuring that both partners respect them. Boundaries also help create emotional safety, which is necessary for nurturing trust and mutual respect. Sometimes, the help of a professional is required to navigate deeply ingrained toxic patterns. Couples therapy or individual counseling provides a space to work through issues in a guided, supportive environment. Research by Dr. Sue Johnson shows that couples who engage in emotionally focused therapy experience significant improvement in their emotional connection and communication. By committing to self-reflection, communication improvements, and seeking professional guidance, partners can begin to change toxic patterns and create a healthier, more fulfilling relationship dynamic. Building healthy dynamics in relationships requires ongoing effort, trust, and mutual respect. One foundational element is empathy. Practicing empathy means understanding your partner's feelings and perspectives without judgment, which creates a deeper emotional connection. Active listening is a vital tool for cultivating empathy. This means giving full attention to what the other person is saying and responding with understanding. Respect is another essential ingredient. It's not just about respecting someone's opinions, but also their boundaries, values, and autonomy. A healthy relationship thrives on equality, where both partners feel valued and appreciated. Relationships that foster respect often have clearer communication, less defensiveness, and more openness to resolving conflicts constructively. Trust and vulnerability are equally important. A relationship based on trust allows both partners to feel secure enough to be vulnerable and share their deepest fears, desires, and insecurities. This creates an environment where both individuals can grow and support each other without fear of rejection. In building these healthy dynamics, it's important to remember that they require consistent effort. Dr. Gary Chapman's research on love languages emphasizes that understanding and respecting how your partner feels loved, whether through words of affirmation, acts of service, or physical touch, can strengthen emotional intimacy and create a deeper bond. A life hack: making time for regular check-ins with your partner, where both people can discuss needs and feelings, can go a long way in nurturing these positive dynamics. Once toxic patterns have been addressed and healthier dynamics are established, it's important to actively maintain positive changes. One effective way is through regular check-ins, which allow both partners to assess how they're doing emotionally, discuss concerns, and celebrate progress. These check-ins foster ongoing communication and keep both individuals aligned in their goals for the relationship. Another vital aspect is recognizing and celebrating small victories. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it's easy to get discouraged by setbacks. Acknowledging even the smallest improvements, whether it's better communication or more respect for boundaries, reinforces positive behavior and encourages further growth. While maintaining positive changes is essential, setbacks are inevitable. Old habits can resurface, and external pressures can disrupt progress. During these moments, it's important to approach the situation with patience and understanding. Instead of reverting to old toxic behaviors, partners should focus on problem-solving together and returning to healthy communication techniques. Dr. Breen Brown's research on vulnerability and shame highlights the importance of self-compassion during setbacks. Being kind to oneself and each other during these times strengthens resilience and fosters long-term growth. A life hack: keep a journal together to track progress, challenges, and insights. This can help maintain focus on the positive changes made and offer valuable perspective when setbacks occur. To apply the insights from this video, start with self-reflection. Take a moment to assess how past experiences may have shaped current relationship dynamics. Practice active listening and empathy to improve communication, ensuring that both you and your partner feel heard and understood. Make boundaries a priority, both setting and respecting them. Seek help from a therapist if needed, whether for individual or couples counseling, to work through deep-seated patterns. Additionally, focus on maintaining positive changes by checking in regularly with your partner, celebrating small victories, and being patient with setbacks. One key takeaway: healthy relationships require continuous effort, but with the right tools, positive change is possible. We've explored how to recognize and change toxic patterns in relationships, from identifying red flags to building healthier dynamics. Remember, relationships are about growth and mutual respect. Keep applying these strategies and make the positive changes that lead to deeper, more fulfilling connections. Thanks for watching, and stay empowered.